For me, this journey inward and trying to figure out what my own dharma is and what kind of karma that translates to, like what kind of actions that translates to. The deeper you dive, you figure out that where you are is very much because of those around you. And trying to figure out where that disconnect and belonging happened and like how that made my family live kind of more individual lives. It really goes back to like when we were disconnected from the land back in India where we were all living together. We had dependent lives, and that was a couple of generations ago, right? I've been like generationally displaced in the sense, and the ancestors, like my grandparents and their parents, decided to go on this journey across the world to go fulfill like this American dream, and in the name of development, in a sense, and being more modern and more advanced. And in the process, we got very lost. There was no connection to the land, and then when you lose that, you start losing the connection with each other. So what happens now is we're trying to figure out how to belong with each other, but there's also that longing for like where we want to be and like where that place is. And for me, I grew up in a household where we still practice a lot of the cultural things from India generations ago. We grew up eating like Gujarati food. We grew up going to all these different festivals, and but it just felt like we were in a foreign land at the same time. So you're trying to preserve all these things, but then at the same time, you still feel that kind of longing to like, okay, maybe we should like go back. So now, generations later, we're living here all together, kind of living independent lives. So, as much as it is my journey, in a sense, like trying to go and do regenerative work, and like my own dharma has guided me to go and do this, in a sense, you kind of discover that you can't really go forward and do this work without them. Because if you can't even show for yourself that there's this kind of dharma as a collective and you're able to do these things as a family, then there's not really a way in my mind that you can just go out and create like a whole cultural shift and like influence other people to do the same thing. So as much as it's like my own journey, it's also like trying to prove to myself and other people that, this is a very possible thing and it starts at home. And I think my story is kind of unique in a sense because I also have a lot of friends that are immigrants and they're kind of still lost. They went through college and they're working their jobs and now they're living away from their family. And we continue to separate our lives from the support system that has always been there for us. And it just snowballs into all kinds of different facets of health and being in the world. It's just, I think, the core of what the problem is, in a sense. There's not really like this fancy development thing that needs to happen. I think we just need to go back to that support system and be with each other, like create that sense of belonging with the land as well. So for me, it's very much my journey, but also I know like it's my family's journey as well because we made it here as a family and now it's time to continue being a family and kind of go back and see what we can do together.